So today we've got two Speedmasters and we're going to be discussing whether you go for the Moonwatch or whether you spend half the amount and go for the Reduced.
Houston, we have a problem.
I'm Anthony.
I'm Luke.
And as Luke said, we're going to be discussing whether it's actually worth going for the Amiga Speedmaster Reduced over the normal Moonwatch Professional.
We would discuss reference numbers, but
we don't have time.
No, we're not Rain Man.
I'm never going to remember that.
No.
I barely remember the calendar movement. Oh, it's not
exactly.
Bad.
So for the purpose of the video, this one we're just going to call the Reduced.
Yeah.
And I think we'll just call this one the Pro.
Yeah, job done. That makes things easier. Obviously, there's various different versions of the Pro. There's various different versions of the automatic Reduced, but these are just the normal versions, aren't they?
Exactly.
So that keeps everything clear.
We've got to thank our mate Dave.
Yeah.
And we're not just making that up. We've got our mate Dave, who's lent us.
There's multiple mates called Dave.
I know.
I come from Essex.
It's either Dave or John.
Yeah, that's it.
What Dave, what John? But Dave's very kindly lent us this, and we were going to try and get it on the bracelet, but in Dave's words, he couldn't be bothered finding the box. But it's on a really nice Hirsch. Is it Hirsch?
I think so. Genuine alligator, so it looks really smart actually.
Yeah, it is nice.
So first things first, I think we've kind of got to cut the crap that we've just seen all day when we've been looking at researching. Everyone's saying that the Reduced is taller than the Pro.
It's not. It's simply not. We've got them both next to each other, and it's not.
Not even close. Not even close.
No.
And everyone says, oh, it sits too tall, the automatic movement makes it sit too tall. I think this is just people, like...
Making it up.
Yeah, they're just making it up because they've read online, oh, it's automatic, they've stacked two movements, and therefore it must be taller. It really isn't. The crystal sits shallower, the case back sits shallower, even the lugs don't curve down as much, so it actually sits on the wrist really nicely. So what's the actual height of the Pro?
I've got no idea. It's meant to be, apparently it's 13 mil. I think it's 13 mil, and that's going to be 13 mil, but it's just not that's thinner.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, we'll show the B-roll when they're sitting side by side. That is definitely thinner than that, and it is definitely because of the crystal and obviously the case back. It just sits more flush, and it doesn't sit too tall. And that's the thing that put you off from buying the Reduced.
Yeah, over the Pro. Yeah, because you used to be able to get these. I mean, we'll get into the price and that, but you used to get these really, really cheap. And I would have bought one probably if I would have tried one on before I tried this on, but I went and tried that on after a few beers, as I said in the other video, and just went and bought that. Should we get kind of specs out of the way? Because I mean, everyone knows about the Moonwatch, but we may as well join the masses and just talk about it a little bit. So
yeah, so the actual Speedmaster Pro, obviously that's 42 mil. Everyone says it's a little bit big. I mean, he is classically oversized for the time.
Yeah.
Was it 1959 or 57? I think they come out. And that was massive then, like that would have been a monstrous watch. But for 42 mil, because we've both got skinny wrists, but for 42 mil, that actually wears really quite nicely.
So this is 42 mil, but it's got a lug to lug of 48. So it fits really nice on the wrist. And I've said it before, but I honestly think it's down to the curve. I mean, that helps as well, because that's got the same, but it's got the lovely curved lugs that kind of go in and it just kind of tapers to your hand.
Yeah, it's deceiving to the eye.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think it fits perfectly. We've both got 7-inch wrists. Like fit perfectly. Yeah. Like 7-inch on mine, maybe a little bit smaller on yours.
But
hold on, what are we talking about? Still really
This is a 2019 model. Yeah, it's just your standard Moonwatch. It has the Hesse light. Yeah. It has the non-display back. It's just your Moonwatch that everyone knows about. It's the 1861 movement. Was a 48-hour power reserve.
Yeah, only 18 joules, which we found out earlier.
Yeah, I know. I don't have jewelry. I don't wear jewelry, but I think I've got more jewels than this has.
It's kind of ridiculous. It is ridiculous. You'd think it'd have more. I mean, it's still a stunning movement. If anyone's actually ever seen one with a case back up, it's a stunning looking movement for the price point. It's really damn good.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's trying to test it.
And it's in-house. It's an in-house movement, so it makes it that little bit more special. But then you're paying double the price for it. Whereas this is automatic 2 movements. So you're getting 2 movements for the price of 1, and the first one is an ETA base.
So yeah, the way it works, you've got the ETA. It's on our notes.
28.90.
88. ETA 28.90.
Yeah.
Which is for the time, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you've got that, and on top of that, you've got the chronograph movement, which is the
What is it?
Dubois.
Or DD, people call them, don't they? Or DD, Dubois.
Well, 2020
Yeah.
movement. So essentially, you've got 2 movements, and because of that, they have an astronomical amount of joules, and it's like a selling point, isn't it, really, for them? They go,
Yeah, but it's 46 joules. So compared to the 18,
46 joules. But then again, that's cheating. That's
It is
cheating.
cheating.
They'll just come out and say, "Oh yeah, look at our new watch. We've got 46 joules." Yeah, but you've got 2. It's like some geezer in a shed getting his Mini and fitting 2 V8s in it and going, "Look, I've got 16 cylinders."
yeah, it is that. And it's a cheating way of doing it. And you've got to say, hats off to Omega for how thin and well proportioned this watch is.
They stuck it in nicely. Yeah.
So like this one, instead of having 20mm lug width, it's got the 18mm lug width. The actual height of this is only 13mm high. So it's actually, I'm sure that's 14mm, 14.4. So it's actually smaller.
It's the case back.
And it's the case back. So it's more classically proportioned. It really is.
I agree.
It sits so nicely on the wrist. I absolutely love it. I was thinking it was going to not be great. When you look on the side, you can see, this is where you can see that the 2 movements are stacked, so that the two pushers on the side for the chronograph, they're just a little bit offset, they're not dead centre.
So, yeah,
But to go with the proportions, the crown's smaller than the one on the Pro. And it sticks out a little bit further, and that's the only negative to that, isn't it?
I mean, both of these, you don't really notice the fact it's got an asymmetrical case. With this one, the way it's angled down, when you've got it on your wrist, it kind of reflects your skin tone, and you don't. It's really quite clever. I don't know if they designed it on purpose, but you can never really tell it's got the asymmetric. Whereas in this, you can really tell it's got the asymmetrical case, and it does make the pushers seem to stick out just that little bit more. And it just, they're quite obviously pushers with that. Whereas on this, you kind of, I don't know, it's a really weird statement to make, obvious pushers, but you really can tell they just stick out that little bit further. But the trade-off you get for that, especially on the crown, is, even though this isn't manual wind, one of the main complaints that people say when they first see one of these is it's quite hard to get your fingers in.
Wind, yeah.
Whereas
if you're doing that every morning.
I know, you get used to it, but yeah, that even it sticks out a little bit further.
It sticks out, so if you do choose to manual wind it, it's a lot easier.
And that's right, it's manual winding and hacking on that.
And hacking. No hacking on that.
Manual wind. That's manual wind only, of course, on the Caliber 1860.
Which is all part of the romance of it. It's already special because it's the Moonwatch.
I don't buy it's the old romance thing. I just like the manual wind.
Yeah.
People have excuses of why they like it. So that's romantic. It harks back to the days. No. You just like it.
It's nice. It's nice for the first month you have the watch, and then you kind of get annoyed having to wind it up all the time. And this is just convenience. It is. If you was just going to wear this every day, it's automatic. It fits more comfortably. It's not as heavy as that. I mean, granted, this is not on the bracelet, but it wears more comfortably.
The main difference that you will notice when you see these straight away is the dials, the sub dials.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that bloke from Grown Ups. The Reduced, it's got home and away eyes. It's all over the place, really, and that's the biggest thing that puts me off. Home and away eyes. Yeah.
It's got summer eyes, summer here, summer there.
You have a look at the subdial. It's just too far spread apart.
It is. I mean, it's not an ugly watch. It's not an ugly watch. It's just different to what you're used to, because that's perfectly proportioned. The dial is perfect on that, and it's just something that you're not used to. Also, I never realised the seconds, like the actual running seconds,
are on the
right side. I didn't. I found that quite weird. But I mean, they're both lovely watches. Really are.
You don't get any cock and balls on the Reduced.
Not on the Mark 1 Reduced.
On the Mark 2,
I think they do have the cock and balls on there, but that's the other thing on the dial. You do get next to the indices, so you get a 60. All the way, 5 all the way around to 60. This was actually the Mark 1 of the Reduced, so they produced these between 1988 and the mid-90s, and then they actually came back and did a little bit of a thing around early 2000. I can't remember the exact dates, it's typical clockback fashion, but it did actually look a bit more like the Moonwatch. They got rid of the numbers on the outside, and you also got sapphire with that rather than Hesterlight. as well.
See, I quite like the Hesselite.
I do as well. I love Hesselite.
But it's still loomed, everything's still loomed apart from the chronograph hand, because of the chronograph hands are different designs, and you've got a little arrow head on the top of your Pro, whereas that's just a dead straight one.
Yeah, and it does, do you know what, it makes it feel a little bit more vintage. I think it's the proportions combined with that. The actual action of it's still accurate, you know, you can still feel it, but it doesn't feel as, I don't know what the word would be, almost positive to push it in. It doesn't have that same kind of...
Yeah, you don't have that solid engagement.
Do you know what it feels like? It feels like when you operate a Seagull 1963 movement, that's what it feels like.
Oh no, that's harsh. That's harsh.
No, that's a good movement. I mean, it's made out of cheese, but it's got a good feel to it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
Compared to this is clunky, it feels really mechanical, and that was just like a little...
I'd have no complaints. And I mean, I have properly bashed this before, and it's because I hadn't seen the one in the flesh properly. But now I've had a chance to wear it, handle it. I really like this.
That's cool.
And in actual fact, I might buy this very one. I like it that much.
See what they will actually say to you. Price. I mean, that's a contentious point, and that was the point of this video. Whether, I mean, retail on these now, they've gone up. On the Moonwatch retail,
£3,800.
£3,810.
Most of that's probably for the big, massive box.
Oh yeah, exactly that. Yeah, I mean that is the best thing. Whereas they've just given me this in a glasses case today.
Yeah. Whereas this is only second hand now though, because they're discontinued.
But these went really cheap at one point. You could pick them up for less than £1,000, and now you're looking at 1,500 minimum.
Yeah, between 15. If you budget £1,500 to £2,000, you'll get yourself a nice reduced.
And for the mathematicians in the house, that is over £2,000 difference, mate. £2,000. Is the Moonwatch worth the extra 2,000?
No.
For me, it's yes. I wear that daily.
Whereas I think this is a better daily option.
Because it's a bit thinner.
Bit thinner. I'm getting the same watch, I'm getting the same kind of feel for £2,000 less.
In the very first video we did when we talked about, when we compared the Moonwatch to your Moonphase, I was like, yeah, the thing is people moan about saying it scratches all the time. It doesn't, it does. After 3 months, it definitely does scratch.
Yeah, there's been a few, but you wear it daily. That's what these watches are. Like as a daily, the crystal, it's a lot more lower profile. It's a lot less wearing on the wrist.
Yeah, for you, because you're so ham-fisted and you take out door frames for the fun of it.
Exactly. Like my one, I hit it quite a few times, and thank God it's sapphire. But
you only wore it 3 times. Half of London was destroyed. I
mean, so I think this, I would wear this more.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lovely watch. It surprised me, and as I said at the beginning, I think if I would have been able to try one of them on first, I probably would have ended up buying that over that, because I'd never over that. But do I regret buying that and spending the extra? Not one bit. I still prefer having the.
It comes back to the conversation where everyone. I mean, I've done it. You've done it. We bash the Reduced and just say it'd be like going out and buying a 330. BMW.
I don't bash it, you bash it.
And then a BMW M3 turns up next to you at the traffic lights, and you're going to wish that you bought the real Speedy. But now I've worn it and I've spent a bit of time around it. I take that back. I really regret saying that because it's not right.
It's just them subdials. I just don't know whether
the subdials, the whole home and away eyes. They are. It does put you off a little bit, but I tell you what, it only bothers me when I'm looking at it next to a Speedy Pro. It isn't that much of an issue. It's because the Speedy Pro is so well proportioned.
How often are you going to be having that conversation? I mean, it's quite likely that you're driving your 330 and M3s are 10 by the dozen, aren't they? So you just put next to one, but you're very unlikely to be in the same situation where two people.
How often do you see someone with a Speedy in the wild? It doesn't happen to me.
No, they're known to be common watches, but you still see no one with
it. So for me, as a daily,
you save yourself £2,000.
I'd save myself the £2,000, and I strongly, I'm under the opinion that you need to try one of these Reduced before you discount it. Don't listen to everyone. Just keep saying, "Oh, it's 6'2" tall. It's 6'2" tall."
It doesn't. It's lies.
Crap. Absolute crap. Yeah.
What I was going to say as well is what is quite nice about these. I know you just like it with the almost like the Moonwatch look. But there's so many different colour options out there.
You've got date ones, you've got silver ones, you've got the tachymeter in like brushed steel.
That's my favourite one. I'd like it with it. I'd actually consider one alongside the Moonwatch with the blue one with the triple date. I know you're not the biggest fan of it. It almost has that RS date pointer that goes round. It's got the triple date.
It's something about Omegas and dates. I don't know. And I'm a big date fan. But there's
you bought your Speedmaster because it has a date.
and I never used it.
That's true.
Because it was completely illegible, really. It was ridiculous. I didn't set it once. And usually they're in like the 4 o'clock position or in a stupid position at 12 o'clock. It just looks a bit weird and awkward especially with the chronograph. It's not needed. So I think, I mean, as we're comparing them as well, the standard reduced, the standard pro, they're the ones that most people are going to be looking at anyway. And yeah, if you're a bit strapped for cash, because I'm not being funny, nearly £4,000 on an Amiga or any watch it's a lot of money. Whereas 1,500 quid, it softens the blow a little bit, and you still get the same special feeling almost.
You do. No, I totally agree with that.
And if it's it's not the same watch as it's on the moon and all that bollocks, it's not even got the 3-2-1 movement, so you're wrong there as well. It makes no difference. And if you're a smaller guy, because not everyone wants a big fit, although that does wear really well, but not everyone wants the bigger movement. Some people do find it awkward. I think bigger watch, not bigger movement. I find it fits very well for the wrist size. It's definitely deceiving. But if you do want to go for something smaller, the 38.5mm reduced, perfect. I think it's the perfect answer.
That's a great summary, mate. Really good summary. It's actually not really taking a piss like I would do. You did very well there, mate.
Yeah, I haven't had a bad word to say about it.
I know.
Apart from the googly.
And we didn't set anything on fire.
We haven't set anything on fire today.
So people will be happy with us.
I'm itching for it though. Keep me away from the matches.
One thing I would say is that a lot of people bash these, or not bash them, but on the forums again, rumour is if they break, it's cheaper to replace the whole watch because people say that it's impossible to service.
It's an ETA movement.
I spoke to my
standard DB chrono.
I spoke to my watchmaker and I asked him that question. I said, "The men are really difficult to service," and he just bought one of these broken for £200 off someone.
Bloody bastard.
And he wears it daily now. He wears it daily because he fixed it, and he goes, I'm not going to do his accent, but he goes, the problem is bad watchmakers.
Yeah.
He said it's really easy because it's just literally one movement stacked on top of the other.
So I think basically there's just a lot of people bashing those who haven't actually spent any time around.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Which is unacceptable, and I was one of those people, and I feel bad. I'm sorry. So yeah, my opinion, I'd take the reduced actually. I overspend in the
It's a lovely watch.
It is.
Lovely watch.
Perfect. So yeah, drop a comment below, tell us which one you'd go for and the reason as to why. And yeah, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up and please subscribe. It really helps.
We're still giving away that G-Shock as well. We've not got to 1,000 subs yet, so once that's
like
on,
750 or something like that. It's taking forever. So we must be really crap. But once we get to 1,000, we'll give away a G-Shock, solar powered, Bluetooth, and all that. So it's a good, decent prize.
Yeah.
So yeah, please subscribe, help us out, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.